is simple. Mrs. A is a teacher and a mother that loves to cook and reward people with delicious food. The what? Well, that would be the 3 amazing salsas she makes: regular, hot, and salsa verde. All made with the freshest ingredients and no onion, so you can spread the love, not your breath. The when? Well, when isn't there a good time to enjoy Mrs. A's famous salsa buena? Where can you get it? Well, how about all throughout California and Southern Oregon, even in Nevada and parts of Wyoming and Colorado, and they're growing all the time. If you don't see it in the refrigerated section, ask for Mrs. A's famous salsa buena or just go to mrsafamous.com. Now you ask yourself why? Well, because buena means good, really good. And that's because Mrs. A's famous salsas are made with fresh ingredients, and you taste that in every bite because it's buena. So be good to yourself and get Mrs. A's famous salsa buena. Go ahead, eat buena.
All right. No more waiting around. Let's get the man in here. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach from Chilled Monkey Brain. Zach, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, everybody. I'm excellent. How are you?
We're doing great, man. Doing great. I'm going to bring the chat in. So, Zach, you are the lead singer, guitarist for Chilled Monkey Brains, right?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay, so I gotta ask. So first and foremost, when did you meet the guys? Like, how did this band come to form?
So I have been the singer and guitarist and songwriter for the last 2 albums.
Okay.
They had an original singer for the first 4 years, and they started in 2009, and then I joined in 2013. So I've been in the band for going on 11 years now.
Okay. Oh wow.
And
yeah, that's crazy. So when did you start getting into music? Like when did you get that itch to learn guitar and stuff?
Well, it's odd for somebody in a punk rock band, but I started out music in church as a kid, just singing. And I would get up and lead singing in front of the church and everything, and do that kind of thing. And then as soon as it was available in my public school that I went to, I got into band. I started on the trombone, and then I picked up the guitar like a year and a half later, and never looked back. Basically, I played trombone all the way through high school. I was the drum major in high school.
Nice,
very illustrious position, I know.
Now, do you still add trombone on some of the tracks?
So I play trombone and trumpet live sometimes.
Okay.
We have 2 trombone players, so I basically let those guys do everything on the album. But I will still bust out the brass when we're playing live.
Got it. So that's funny because I've played guitar since the 7th grade, but I started out in 5th grade on the trumpet. Mm-hmm. And I played the trumpet all through high school, and then but then I was more into guitar, as it went forward.
Yep. And
so I kept in. That's crazy. So how many bands were you in prior to getting into Chilled Monkey Brains?
Let's see. Well, I started my first band that ever played a show. We'll start there. There was a couple that, in middle school where we weren't able to actually get out. But the first one that played a show was a ska band in high school, with my brother, who's the bassist for Chilled Monkey Brains, on bass.
Okay.
A few other guys. And we played, I guess I was 15, probably, maybe 16 when we played our first show. And I was the oldest guy in the band. So we were a bunch of youngsters.
Okay. Nice.
And then band called, probably, I'd have to sit and think for sure, but I'd say 4 bands before I joined Chilled Monkey Brains.
Got it. So has it always been ska?
Yeah, I do. I play in another band with my brother that I was mentioning, and we play like thrash metal kind of stuff. I love all kinds of music. There is country was my last holdout, and in the last 2 years, I've started to see the light on a little bit of country music. So now I like every style of music. At least a few artists. Name a genre, I can name. Some artists.
Nice. So it's funny that you say that. So because I have been a lover of all music except for country for the longest time. And then one of my best friends called me up one night and he says, "Hey, I know this isn't your bag, but I got an extra ticket to Kenny Chesney." This is when I was living in San Francisco, so he was playing Pac-Bell Park, right?
Mhm.
And he's like, and I was I was single at the time too, and so he's just like, I know you've been to shows before, but your eyes are gonna go nuts at this show. I'm like, all right. And then after going to the Chesney show at Pac-Bell Park, which was just incredible, right? That turned me on to a couple of different. And so, yeah, so I picked up a little bit of country. I'm not like fully into it yet,
No,
or fully
same.
in there yet.
I don't
right?
listen to country radio, but there's certain artists.
Right. Yeah. So, now, what were your influences growing up in terms of just music? Like what was going through your radio? What was going through your MP3 players?
Definitely the first album that I can remember, like something changed in my brain when I listened to it, was Energy by Operation Ivy.
Yeah.
That one just like, I listened to the whole thing through and was like, what? And I think it's like 27 songs or something. Just what did I just hear?
Yeah.
And then I read the lyrics to go along with it and found out this guy was a teenager when he wrote these just amazing lyrics. So that was the first one that really, truly blew my mind. And then I got really into Catch 22 and Streetlight Manifesto.
Okay.
Which you can certainly hear if you listen to our album.
Yeah.
The influences there for sure.
Yeah,
that's where I really started. And then in college, I was way more into like metal and thrash and hardcore and that kind of stuff. So that's all. And when I met these guys, they were basically, I had been trying to put together a band that could meld those my two favorite, genres, the ska and the dancier, jazzier stuff and heavy metal and that kind of thing. So it just kind of worked out perfectly.
That's awesome. So yeah, so I went to UC Santa Barbara from 1993 to 1997. And I was in a band called Kid Power that was more of an alt rock band. I'm very sort of reminiscent of the bands that were big at the time, like STP and Pearl Jam and all those, right, and all those things, right. But there was a huge sort of ska explosion of local bands in Isla Vista, and one in particular that was named Django. Those guys were like they were the kings of sort of the weekend spot.
Yeah.
They were so good. And so, and I hadn't necessarily been really exposed to ska until that point. And then we No Doubt was actually playing a show and this is right when Tragic Kingdom came out, but they played a couple of things off of Beacon Street Collection. And I'm just like, this is really good. Like, yeah. I kind of like this better than Tragic Kingdom, right? And so I'm just like, I immediately went to Morning Glory Music, which was one of the local music stores in Isla Vista, picked up Beacon Street Collection, and I can recite that album start to finish. Like
That's
that was, awesome. Yeah. And then that got me down a huge rabbit hole of like dance hall crashers and like all that stuff. And I was just like, I felt like I had been sort of wearing blinders,
right?
to really good music at that point.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So you said, so you've been, so was your brother always in Chilled Monkey Brains, or did he come in when you came in?
He came in a few years after me. Our bassist kind of basically just, we were touring a lot and he just was not into the touring life.
Oh, gotcha.
So he kind of was like, we're still friends, but I don't want to do this anymore. And that's when my brother joined, and that would have been 2018.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So how did these guys find you? Like, were you just playing like sort of shows in the same circuit, and did you sort of did you pitch yourself a little bit?
No, so it's funny actually. I accidentally pitched myself. Basically, I was wearing a Propaganda shirt. Propaganda is my favorite band of all time.
Yeah.
And I was working in a psych lab at Florida State where I went to college, and one of the other guys working in the lab was like, "Oh, you like Propagandy? I'm in a band. It's our lead singer's favorite band is Propagandy, and he's leaving. Like, do you play any music at all?" Because this guy was a sick guitarist, not in the band anymore, but he was like, you should come check out band practice. What do you play? And I was like, well, I play trombone. If you guys already have guitarists, I'll come play some trombone. And so I went to practice, and it was kind of like a tryout. It's an informal tryout, basically.
Right.
And the practice went well, and they were like, okay, you're cool. Come back next time. And we went back to one of the guys' house and played poker, and I took everybody's money. And then, and so I kind of like listened to the whole, after that, I was like, okay, I'm in the band. I listened to the whole catalog. And at the next practice, like I said, we had no singer at the time. I was like, well, I know how to sing. There's a microphone. I'm just going to sing while we're here. Yeah. And I sang one song, and they're like, that was pretty good. You want to, let's do another one, see what you got. And that pretty much locked me in as the singer.
Nice. So you weren't necessarily looking to join it. It was just sort of this weird thing that just happened.
Just kismet. Yep. Just kind of fate brought its hand in and said, you're going to play in this band.
That's awesome. Now, before we get any deeper, do you guys have any shows coming up? What's on the schedule for Chilled Monkey Brains right now?
Yeah, we do. The next show is March 29th, so a little over a month away. It's Friday, March 29th in Ponce Inlet, Florida. So that's like right between Daytona and New Smyrna Beach there. And it's for this big, I think it's called Spring Break Reggae Festival. It's like the 15th time they've done it.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, it should be cool. Ballyhoo is headlining. We play, I think we're the co-headliner on Friday night. And then
that's awesome.
It's a 2-day thing. So Saturday Ballyhoo's playing, and we play on Friday night. So that's the next one.
That's cool. That's great. So now ska bands typically have a lot of guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got to find out what the transportation is like to gigs.
So we have a small tour vehicle.
Okay.
We had a 1995 Dodge Ram conversion van that we drove forever. That was my baby. Before I got married, my ex actually was like legitimately jealous of how much I loved this van. Probably part of why she's my ex.
Right.
But that served us well for a long time. 4 captain's chairs and a bench, and we would tour with a trailer. So we could have as many as 7 guys, which we did a number of times. 7 guys all across the country, and now we're in like a suburban, Yukon XL, and it serves us well. We're 5 to 6 guys, depending on how many horns can make it.
Right. Yeah. So my band in college, we commandeered an old Cox Cable van.
Oh, nice.
One with the rainbow on the side, and that was our gig van for the 3 years that I played with these guys.
That's awesome.
And it was great. Yeah. Cause everybody, and there were people that would show up like, we didn't know that you guys were playing tonight, but we saw the van outside. It was great. It was, cool. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. But I forget, our lead singer got it for like, I don't know, like $200 or something like that.
Wow.
And it ran just fine. Like it was just sitting collecting dust, and the guy was like, "No, I need to get rid of this thing.
Get it out of here."
Like we need it. It's perfect.
That's cool.
For those listening on the audio podcast, we're talking to Zach from the band Chilled Monkey Brains. They got shows coming up. Again, tease that festival one more time. End of March.
March 29th, Spring Break Reggae Festival at Jerry's Tiki Bar in Ponce Inlet.
There we go. Now, we can't talk about how awesome it is to be in a band without playing some of the music. So let's kick on nostalgia. Just ain't what it used to be. Sorry.
It's all right.
Nostalgia just ain't what it used to be. Here you go. This is Chilled Monkey Brains. Take a listen.
It's so cool to be around such great friends, and I cherish these moments. I will for the rest of my life. So, all right, I'm done jerking you off now. Let's get the show on the road.
It's been said, it's been done, it's been played, it's been sung. Times and friends go and come. So the story goes, and though we may have lost touch, I never lost sight of what made it all worth fighting for. You can't fight the changing tide. Waves will come and go like fireflies glow in the night. Wrong or right, you'll never convince me that just cause it's been said, it's been done, it's been played, it's been sung. Signs and friends go and come, but we cling to the memories we made singing these songs when we sang. Built up from nothing, trying to remember singing. Cynic like me. It took me 10 long years to realize you never have to justify the things you love. Oh, I'm telling you, lay your burdens down. Why waste all that energy when the reality is that just cause it's been said, it's been done, been played, it's been sung. And times and friends go and come, but we cherish the memories we made singing these songs when we were
Oh man, it's so good. It's so good. So, so you also did the video editing there.
I did. Yep. I'm a semi-professional video editor as well.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So, now keep going. Do you have a 9-to-5 or what?
I work. My family has a business that I work part-time for.
Okay.
As like an office person, we do appliance repairs, but I. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. I have a YouTube channel that me and my both of my brothers run together. It's called Danny Doughballs. It's a pizza channel. Balls with a Z, Danny Doughballs.
Right.
But it's relatively successful. We're trying to make it our full time. So it's not quite there yet, but it's going good so far.
That's awesome. That's great. One thing that I know, I mean, that I just know about ska shows is just the energy from the music and the crowd alone, like getting into it and everything. I mean, and you guys have been playing for a long time. Do you have any weird like fan stories or any weird, like, has anyone crossed the line with you guys at all?
Yeah, it's happened a few times. One notable one was this. We played a show in, I believe it was in Melbourne or Cocoa, somewhere in there on the east coast of Florida. And it was for a small, like a regional, Comic-Con type of convention. Right. And on our last album, Apocalypse, we have a medley of songs from Street Fighter, the Super Nintendo game. Yeah. And so we all dressed as characters from Street Fighter for this con.
Nice.
You cosplay at a con.
Right. No, absolutely.
And so we put on the performance, and there was this girl who I don't know if maybe she had never seen live music before in her life, or at first I was like, oh, she's tripping in some way.
Right.
She's on mushrooms or something like that. And then the more I talked to her, I was like, no, she's clearly knows what's going on, but she could barely speak. It was as if we were the Beatles, and I was like,
right,
we're nobody knows who we are. This is not,
Yeah. Right.
you know, we're not international superstars here, but we might as well have been to her.
Right.
So yeah, that was fun. Any other ones I can think of are beyond the PG-13.
Oh, of
I'm
course.
assuming we want to keep it with here. So
Of course. No, so we one of the last gigs that I played with my band in California was a Halloween gig, and there were 4 of us. So I'm like, we're dressing as the Ghostbusters, like we're all going in. And so so sure enough, we had the full suits, the proton packs, and the blow up proton packs and everything.
Yeah.
And but we didn't play the song. Like that was kind of a drop for us, like a you know. But we had a really good contingent of like covers and originals and stuff. But everybody appreciated the coordinated effort.
Oh yeah.
As a nerd, I got to ask, what Street Fighter character were you?
So I was Ryu, since I'm
of course
the lead singer, and I already had a white gi, so that kind of made it easier.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Something else that I want to talk about too is that I know that and you were coming into like an established band, and you know sometimes everybody's got their sort of ideas of the product that they need to put out, right? So and you mentioned that you just you came in, you learned their catalog, you know, and just started singing. Where was that point where you kind of felt that you were able to sort of like, you know, give that, right, you know, become like part of the band and not just, oh, hey, this guy's singing our songs?
Yeah. So I guess when I joined there, they had maybe 2 complete songs, new songs, you know, that they were wanting to record, and 3 that were kind of like in the works. There was parts, but they weren't all totally fleshed out. And so this is how our 2014 album Apocalypse came to be. It was going to be an EP essentially, and so we worked on the 2 that they had, and then the 3 and I just kind of like slowly would suggest stuff, and you know they liked my ideas, and then like I said, I've been in lots of bands, and I've been the songwriter in all the bands I've been in, the main one at least. So I had a couple of songs that I was like, well, these are songs I've written that no band has ever played. I just kind of wrote them, and either I had the music saved on, you know, a notation software, or I just played it on guitar. Do you guys? Yeah. And I played them, and they liked them, so they ended up going on the album as well.
Nice.
And yeah, just kind of was very organic, you know.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. The 2 bands that I were in were very light on ego, which was nice, you know. Yeah. And so they didn't mind, you know, when something just wasn't working, you know. And I didn't have a problem saying these lyrics are dumb, guys. Like, right. Like you can't. I don't really want to. I'm not going to be okay, you know, playing this, or
right.
The transition's weird, you know. Yeah. I don't think this is going to roll. But yeah. So that's great, and that's important too, because, you know, it is an extended family. Oh yeah. You know, because you spend so much time with these people, and you're out and about. You're trying to put together, you know, trying to put on a show, trying to put on something good. So it's important that everybody gets along, and you're not, you know, it's like you're not side-eyeing the drummer saying, quit those fills, man.
Right. Yeah, we very much have and we talk about it. We have a band ethos of like, say any idea that comes to mind, basically.
Right.
Also be aware that if everybody thinks it's dumb, like you said, we're just going to say that doesn't work. That's a dumb idea. How dare you think of that, you idiot?
Right. Do any decisions come to a band vote sometimes?
Yeah, it happens occasionally. I'm trying to think of anything specific on the album. I don't know. We usually just will continue to hash it out until everybody's happy with it. Sure. And there's 6 of us that are like, everybody has a writing credit on at least 2 of the songs. I write all the lyrics, but musically, everybody's on at least a couple of the songs and contributed at least like a horn line or, you know, that kind of thing. And we basically there's 6 of us, like I said, so we don't have a if it's an even split, the vote doesn't help much.
Right. Right.
But yeah, no, we didn't really come to any impasses. If there's something where we can't, but if we can't agree, we'll say, all right, let's move on from this and we'll come back to it later.
Right. Okay. So. All right. Yeah. And again, as a nerd, I got to ask, and I know that you joined the band after it was already named, but Chilled Monkey Brains. Do you know how that name came about?
Yeah, you nailed it in the top 9. It is indeed
okay.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And people just love the reference, so it was just like that was it.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah. Yep.
Nice. Yeah. So there was a band that was that played around Isla Vista when I was there at UC Santa Barbara, called Scruffy Looking Nerf Herder.
Yeah,
right.
Nice. Yeah.
and
That's great.
Yeah, they were more sort of like alternative rock and everything, but they had some of the best posters, band posters that were getting made out there.
Everything Star Wars, right?
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So now, do you guys, in terms of promotion, I know that you're doing the video stuff. Who does the posters? Who does all the social media stuff?
I do all I post everything that goes up, and I know enough to be dangerous on Photoshop. Generally what I'll do is I'll hire out somebody to actually make some artwork for us. I got, I know tons of different people,
right.
From whether it's just the background for the tour flyer, I had a friend do that. And then he sent me the blank version, and I made the flyers for each individual show on that myself. Okay. So
nice
group, labor of love, group effort.
Right. Yeah. And that was a lot. So I played in a band after college, and I was web guy, social media guy, video editor, everything. And so, so I know what it's like to hold those hats. And again, it's like, as a band getting out there, you want to, you don't necessarily need to spend that money, especially when all that stuff is there.
Exactly. Rather spend it on new albums and new merchandise.
Exactly. So in terms of recording, do you guys have a studio that you work with, or have you invested in the home studio yet and do stuff sort of in your spot? So
I've everything we've done has been with the 2 albums that I've been a part of with Chill Monkey Brains were with Lee Dias at Earth Sound Studios. He's in Valdosta, South Georgia.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of stuff. I have a little project that I do with a friend in Orlando of some cover songs, and I'll you can see my little microphone here that I use with my Coors Light windsock on it. And so I'll record vocals and horns here in my little studio that I have. But as far as our full band releases, we prefer to go to a professional studio. I don't know. I feel like I can always tell when a band recorded at home.
Right. No, totally. Yeah.
Even when they're really good, it's that's a really good home recording.
Right.
Which is fine. That's awesome. Do that. And I there's some bands I really like who have home recordings, but for us, we've always decided go with the pro studio.
Yeah. Now, I mean, do you guys work with any sort of producer or anything, or anyone sort of owning this, or you guys get the song where you want, you're ready to go, you book the time, and then you just go in? Pretty much. Yep. Wow. We're all the producers. The guys told me on this album, they were like, you kind of produced this one. And I was like, oh, I just went with the say every idea you think of, and I have the most ideas. Right. Maybe not the best, some total ideas, but I have the most, and I say them all. Right. Yeah. Now, do you guys, when you're out sort of booking your shows and whatnot, do you have certain bands that you like working with, or do you or if there's an open slot on a show, do you guys tell the promoters of the show hey, why don't you bring these guys in? Oh yeah, absolutely. There's some great bands in Orlando and Tallahassee that if we're booking it, like you said, I'll suggest to the promoter, let's bring these dudes on. There's this killer band in Tallahassee called Medians.
that we played with at our last Tallahassee show, and they're like no vocals, kind of math rocky, prog type stuff, but they're just nasty. And more or less it's I'm like, I want to see them play, and I can see them at a show that I'm already going to be there, so let's have them open.
Yeah. So is there any sort of weirdness to having the sort of the different genre there with you guys? Is there any sort of weirdness with the crowd, or is the crowd cool?
It's always been cool.
Totally weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, Christian Random in the house. What's going on, buddy? We're wrapping up. We're almost done.
I was gonna say, just in time for everything to finish up.
Right.
Hi, kids.
No, what's going on, Chris?
Nothing. Hi, Zach. Nice to meet
man.
you.
You too.
Looking forward to this interview for 2 months. This is awesome.
Well, it was fun. Glad to get on with a little bit with you.
All right, that's the show. Mwah!
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. So continue. Sorry. Now I'm here.
What was I saying? Oh, multi-genre.
Right.
Yeah. I our band itself crosses a lot of genres, so I feel like people are that show we had like a Midwest indie band, Medians, who I said is like a math rock band, and then the opener was like a pop punk band, and everybody was into everybody that played. It was great.
That's good. Yeah.
So there's such thing as a meth rock band? Boy, did I miss my calling back in the day.
Right.
Oh, baby.
I'm sure there is a meth rock band out there. Whether they, advertise as that.
Yeah, they do. All you got to do is see them and go, oh.
Well, yeah, but
been there.
The tickets are super expensive, and no one can ever really get to the show. They don't necessarily make it through the first couple songs. So
actually, the tickets are really cheap, and they just last for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
right.
Really long, 48-hour show.
Right? Yeah. So Zach, I am super stoked that you've been on here, dude. I've been listening to your music for about a month and a half now, I think, is since we started talking. And dude, totally dig it. And I know I'm jumping right in the middle of everything, Andy, so I'm sorry, but
no, man, honestly, ask your questions, Chris. And I mean, we might cover some duplicate ground here, but go for it, man.
That's
okay,
fine.
it's your show.
Yeah. I really not anymore, but
it's only your show. Come on.
So am I wrong in saying that you guys have a very no effects kind of sound? Because
no, I'm a big no effects fan.
Okay, they're a big influence on you because you hear it, but you don't. I mean, you guys have your own sound for sure. Dartboard in the background, yes.
Yeah.
Mine's right over there. But no, dude, I like that was the first thing I thought of when I heard what song? Oh, it's the song we have on the video. Have you played the video yet?
Nostalgia. Yeah, we did play the video. Yeah, you missed the video, Chris.
Oh no, I saw the video and I've heard the song about 9 times now. That was like the first song I heard. I just what I listened to, I was like, oh my gosh, and then I was just hooked.
Nice.
I was like, man, this is so cool. You're out of Tallahassee. Is there a big ska punk kind of scene down there, a ska sound, or no?
No. As far as I'm aware, there are no other ska bands in Tallahassee that are active right now. There's been a few over the years, but
okay, but I'm talking like just in Florida alone, really. I mean,
there are a couple of pretty rad ska bands in Florida. There's a band from Cape Coral, Southwest Florida, called Bargain Bin Heroes that are awesome, like third wave ska. There's a band out of Miami called Fuacata that are also killer ska band.
Fuacata?
Fuacata. It's a Spanish word.
Or it's somebody going Fuacata.
I think that's what it comes from. Actually, it's like a onomatopoeia or something like that.
Fuacata. Or they're fed up and they go Fuacata.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. But okay. And have we crossed the barrier of where did the name come from?
Well, so obviously it comes from Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So Zach joined the band. You said 4 years after it started.
Yeah, something like that. 2013 or 14, and the first album 2009.
Yeah, you guys were a meshing of two or three different bands, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Call for Fire and Hope Sick were kind of the two bands that merged to become Chilled Monkey Brains.
Okay. And one was more of a metal kind of sound, right?
Yeah, Hope Sick was kind of late 2000s punk, emo-ish kind of stuff, and Call for Fire was like a ska band with a little bit of metal, less than us, but still a little bit of that metal influence.
Okay, how did that all happen? How did you guys? You're like, it's like the Reese's peanut butter cup. Well, there's chocolate, there's peanut butter. Hey, your peanut butter's in my chocolate. Well, your chocolate's in my peanut butter. Well, your ska's in my punk. Well, my punk's in your metal, and I'm gonna kick your face.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hang out, bro. I mean, how does this happen?
I mean, it's just a matter of that. It's kind of a bunch of the guys in the band's favorite genres of music. Not everybody. Our drummer and one of our trombone players would jump in right now if they were here. Just like, I don't like ska. But
trombone player says he doesn't like ska.
He's a huge funk guy. He loves Mephistopheles. That's about as far as he goes.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, but okay, I still get that. I mean, you look at like bands like the Untouchables, they're hugely soul based. I mean, a lot of their songs, you're just like, it's got that funk groove, and you're just like, yeah. But then all of a sudden they throw a little ska into it, and next thing you know, you're wow. Okay, so it's just still funny, kind of that. I mean, because when you think of ska, it's trombone right off the bat.
Right.
I mean, the bone's the biggest part of the brass section in a ska band, and then there's the trumpet and saxophone or whatever. But I mean, the most standout-ish is, Rico from the Specials. I mean, everybody, that's their main guy is the trombonist.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, and you guys just kind of meshed together. Were you guys doing shows together, or was there intermingled friends? How did this all happen?
The guys who started it, they practiced at the same practice space, and they had shows there as well. And both of the bands kind of, interfighting in each band caused them both to fall apart like right around the same time. And the story that I've heard is basically they were getting drunk at the Shed, as the venue was called, and lamenting the loss of their bands, and they were like, forget the loss of our bands, this is the band now. And it kind of shortly thereafter they named it. They took a couple of old songs from they took like 2 or 3 songs from bands they'd previously been in, wrote a new song at our song Note to Self. They wrote at their first ever band practice, and kind of the rest is history, as they say.
Wow. All right. And now what group did you come out of?
So I was not in either of those. I met these guys. I was working at a psych lab and wearing a propaganda shirt. I told this earlier. And the guitarist in the band was like,
I'm like old history now.
I'm trying to tell it in a different way.
Right.
That's fine. We've already covered it. I'll pick up with you later, Zach. Okay. Now, do you guys have your own website or anything like that?
Yeah. chilledmonkeybrains.org.
Just chilledmonkeybrains.org. Okay. I'm going to put that up on our crawler here.
Oh, appreciate that.
And that way any and everybody can find you guys. But I mean, you Google that name. Now, Andy found out, which I didn't run across, but Andy found there's a metal band, right, Andy?
So, so I was getting ready to, get all this stuff ready for the show. And there's another Chilled Monkey Brains that was a more thrash metal out of like East Coast. I think like upper like New England area.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Well, and because I saw the name and it's like video and I'm like I hit play. I was just like, this isn't ska.
Well, we have some songs that are not ska at all. Actually, I posted a live video of our song Thrasherpiece Theater a few weeks ago, and that song is there's a short, somewhat ska-ish section, but it's much more of a metal thrash song.
Okay, I it could have been your video, and I just got thrown off.
Was it a live video by chance?
It was a live video, yeah.
Kind of from the corner. Well, but
it was Thrasherpiece Theater. Yeah,
yep, that's us.
That is you guys. Damn it! I should have downloaded that one too. Yep. All right.
Oh.
Damn it!
Damn you, Andy! Damn you!
I know. That's my bad. That is so
that's
my
last
bad.
month
right
in
there.
Tallahassee.
And
No
by the way,
freaking
you guys
way.
have to find a way to work the clip from Planet of the Apes where Charleston Heston goes, "You damn dirty apes!"
Yeah,
you have to like figure that
Nice.
in somehow in one of your songs, because I was just, dude, I've had so many things going through my head when I'm listening to music, I'm looking at the artwork. I was wondering about where the origin of the name came from. Obviously, Indiana Jones.
Right.
But I swear, dude, I've been so psyched for this show. Like ever since we started talking, I was listening to music, and then I have a total disaster happen right before the show.
These things happen.
I truly apologize. Now let's get this crawler up so that way. And by the way, anybody listening on the audio version of this, we've got Zach Hall from the ska punk band Chilled Monkey Brains. We aren't eating chilled monkey brains for all you vegans and things like that. We are just talking about the band Chilled Monkey Brains out of Tallahassee, Florida. Now, do you guys tour around Florida or down in the Southeast at all?
Yeah, we just did a sort of a, our album release tour. It was like four or five weekends from the start of the year. But we tried to hit all the major cities. We haven't made it to Miami this year, but we've hit most of our, the major cities around the state. Okay.
So now, and this new album, in the mud. Oh, go ahead.
Back to the mud.
Back to mud. So my notes disappeared on me. I'm sorry. Have you been getting good reception with this? I mean,
yeah. We basically were playing like just the whole album straight through at all these shows. Here and there, we'd throw an old tune in, but so far it's been great reception.
Now who produces? Because it is such a clean. The sound is just great. I mean, it really is. It's really well produced. It sounds just solid, man.
Thanks, man. It's the recording engineer and the mixing and mastering were all done by Lee Dias, who Earth Sound Studios in Valdosta. It's where we always go. As far as producing, as in like, working out the songs and that kind of stuff, that's just the guys in the band. We all.
Yeah. But I'm okay. So the mixing that was all done at what was it called? Earth Studio?
Earth Sound
Studio. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, just a great sound, man. Serious. And it's solid all the way through. All the songs, they're yours, but they all got their own uniqueness. I was just super impressed. I'm a production, I'm sure Andy, I don't know if you touched on this or not. We're both kind of the guys that look at albums and look at the producer. We look at all the nerdy stuff.
Nice.
And so I really dig that. Andy's a musician. I used to play drums. If I could afford it, I'd still have a drum set. I play a little bass, things like that. So, we both have musical backgrounds. I'm sure you've heard of the band Goldfinger.
Of course.
I grew up with John Feldman.
Oh, cool.
In fact, when he was with one of his first major bands, Electric Love Hogs, I helped cart all his equipment around San Diego for about half a year or so.
Yeah, he's a legend. Obviously, produced a ridiculous number of awesome albums. And
actually, the guy who Donnie Champion, who is with the Dead Campers, he created the Dead Campers. That dude does our intro and outro music. He was actually the guitarist for the Electric Love Hogs and stuff. Man, you want to talk about an insane guitarist?
Yeah,
that dude is so freaking talented. It's not even nice. But anyway, enough about that. Who cares? No, just kidding, Donnie. Love you, dude. Anyway, so all right. So now, when is your? You're touring around a little bit right now, just probably locally. Are you planning on doing like major road out on the road or anything? Are you trying to get hooked up with anybody or what?
Yeah, I mean, I've been reaching out to a few people to see if we could get a like a support slot with one of the with one of the bigger ska bands. I know a few people. Reached out to a few people. We're working on that. We're working on a week to 2 week tour. Probably hit the Northeast sometime this summer.
Nice.
So,
what about the Midwest?
The Midwest is, if I knew the right people, we would come to the Midwest certainly. Where are you guys located?
I'm in Kansas City. He's farther west.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've
Northwest. He's
had
where there's a lot of heroin and coffee. I mean Portland.
Right.
So homeless people. No, you're south. You're Salem.
Right. Yeah.
So there's just the residual of the homeless people and crackheads, so, and mudslides. So yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Oh my God. I'm so pissed. I lost all my notes. I made notes for this and I put it on a thing and now I can't find it and I'm not going to sit here and frantically look through my computer for it. But okay. So Northeast, who are your major influences? Now you're the songwriter, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're the songwriter, bassist,
guitarist.
Oh, guitarist. I thought you said bassist. My bad. So I will fix that right now. And you do the singing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're lead singing tonight. Do you share vocals or?
Yeah. There's a decent amount of usually we try to have somebody else in the band sing harmony. It's kind of a modern production thing that the same person sings all the harmonies, right. And that just that creates a certain sound. And I've always been a fan of bands who do a little bit more to utilize the voice of anybody in the band who can sing.
So like similar to like Real Big Fish, how they have great harmonies, man.
Yeah,
they really do.
There's with the exception of our drummer, everybody is singing harmony on at least a couple of parts throughout the album. And then our other guitarist does he takes leads occasionally. He's in the song Tired of Winning. We're kind of going back and forth on the leads.
But so you are basically lead vocals.
Yeah.
And rhythm guitar? Do you do your own little solo in or what?
I'm pretty. We kind of trade off. We both do some leads, but yeah.
Do you do the classic '80s dual guitar lead at the same time?
Oh yeah, we've got a few of those.
Nice. Yes. Oh no, yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, I remember. All right, it's all coming back. By the way, I used to drink a lot and did a lot of drugs, so I have Swiss cheese brains. So sometimes I'll be like, "Oh yeah," I'll have revelations that have nothing to do with the show, and I'll like start babbling about them. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun and confusing for most people. All right. So, are you getting any radio play? Are you getting like actual on-air radio play anywhere?
Yeah, we've had a few different radio stations, kind of, all over the place playing it. There's like a radio stations that will play ska master list that I got my hands on. That's actually how I, found out about you guys, as you were on that, and I just kind of reached out to everybody and said, we just put out an album. Would love to have it played on the show or come on for an interview. And so yeah, we've been played on, I don't know, 20 or 30 radio stations probably.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, Mida out in the Central Coast. I know he's the one that put that list out, the ska punk page.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why can't I remember the name of his page now?
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it either. But
oh my God!
Thank God for that guy.
Yeah, dude, he's actually going to be on the show in 2 weeks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I've always wanted to integrate music more into my show because I used to be in radio and stuff, and so I was more used to that. But the way the show evolved, it just kind of became more of an interview thing, and started like messing around, talking with people on these pages. And then Mido was really cool with it. And then he's like, hey, I'm putting out this list. I'm like, put me on it.
Nice.
And now I'm starting to hear from all these bands. You know, you guys, like I said, I took a little listen to what you have. I was like, oh, yeah.
Nice.
There's a couple other bands I'm working on. They haven't they replied and then haven't replied back.
Mm-hmm.
Musicians. So I was very impressed with the way you were very proactive about it, and I think it's great. I mean, yeah, you know, in this business, it's all about self promotion. Promote,
exactly.
Promote. I'm taking a nap, promoting while I'm taking a nap. It's nonstop. If you're in the bathroom, you're like, hey, have you heard of my band? You know, and then really awkward urinal conversation. So yeah, I've been there, done it, and that's I drive my wife nuts because I'm constantly, what are you doing on your phone? Nothing. What are you doing? Promoting the show. Oh my god! You know, that's it's what you do because that's how you get out there. So now what possible Northeast tour? What do you guys got coming up next, man? What else is going on?
We've got a show in late March that I mentioned. We're playing in Ponce Inlet here in Florida on a pretty cool little it's the 15th year they've done this spring break reggae festival. We're also playing with the Toasters in Orlando.
Nice.
April 14th. Yep. So that should be good.
Oh, dude, that's going to be kick ass, dude.
Yeah, we played with them one, maybe two other times, and yeah, those guys are always bring out a great crowd, and they kill it still.
Right.
Like, I think they've been a band for like 40 years. Still just slay every time.
They're New York based, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And then there was anyway. Yeah, man. So that is absolutely awesome. How much when you guys are doing your gigs or writing songs, now you said you write a lot of the songs. Do you collaborate a lot with some of these guys? You're like, hey man, I got this tune stuck in my head. Somebody comes up with words, or how does that all work?
Yeah, so I do all the lyrics, but musically, like everybody. Sorry, I'm getting over a little cold. I was saying earlier, like everybody has credit on at least 2, maybe even 3 songs per band member on this album. Me and the other guitarist, Steve, generally will come up with like you said, hey, I got this tune, let's work something out. And for most of the songs, I will intentionally not try to arrange it too much. Like, okay, here's how this part's gonna go. Okay, or here's a verse, here's a chorus, here's a horn line. But I like to get everybody together and collaborate on the arrangement and all that kind of stuff, because I'm in this band with these guys because they're all killer musicians, and so like I've always been in the mindset, you know, put out whatever ideas you can. Like let's all put what we can into it to make the best possible song.
Right. Absolutely. So, yeah. But that's very cool. Well, because sometimes, you know, in bands there's usually just those 1 or 2 guys that just work together, and they're like, hey, we came up with this song, and then everybody's like, okay, you know. Right. And then there's a little bit of, oh well, how about we do this, whatever. But it's those 2 guys mainly, you know, or 1 guy. Yeah. So I think that's great that you guys do that, because that really, I mean, and in and out of the studio or on the road or wherever you guys are at, are you guys like a gang? I mean, because that's what makes great bands, is guys that are like, dude, I will go over and knock that fucker, you know, whatever. You don't mess with my bro. You know? And are you guys like that? Are you guys like just best friends, or are you guys?
We are. We're all great. They're like, if we all lost our hands tomorrow and couldn't play music anymore, we would still get together and hang out. And we don't, like, I live near Orlando. A couple of the guys are in Tallahassee. Our drummer lives in New Orleans. We would still get together to hang out there.
So you guys are that far spread out?
Yeah.
Dude, that's got to be difficult to get together.
It's a little tough.
Now, have you guys gone and played like in Louisiana and stuff like that?
Yeah, we played. We're working on a New Orleans show right now. Hopefully, early summer. We're going to be getting back to New Orleans.
Nice. I could see, you know, there should be a decent ska punkish following down there as well.
Yeah,
yeah, crazy.
There's some rad ska. Joystick is my favorite ska band from New Orleans.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So all right, so then where are we at? What are we doing? Who are we at? And for everybody on the audio version of this, again, we've got Zach Hall from the band Chilled Monkey Brains, ska punk band. They just released their newest album, In the Mud, right?
Back to the Mud.
Back to the Mud. Sorry, and it's all over Spotify. It's on Pandora. Now, if people want to get this song or get this album, do they just go to your website?
Yeah, so our website is basically like a glorified link tree. I have all of our social and our Bandcamp and everything linked there. But if you go to the website, follow the link to our Bandcamp. We have vinyl available, we have CDs, and some of our merch is on there as well. So if you want a physical, you can go to our Bandcamp, chilledmonkeybrains.bandcamp.com, and you can buy vinyl or CDs there. And or like I said, just listen to it on Spotify, YouTube, wherever musics are listened to.
Right.
Do you guys get a lot of vinyl sales?
We've been able to pay it off, so that's good.
Oh, really? Okay. No, that's great.
That's a lot, maybe a stretch, but enough.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, as long as it pays for itself, right? Then it's justified, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
That's not how live stream podcast shows work. I'll tell you that.
Right. Yeah. The vinyl reproductions of the Random Christian Show really don't move.
Well, we tried to do the black album and then colored vinyl, and it's still
we started with 8 tracks. Let's be honest. We started with the 8-track, and it didn't fly.
It's true. And then we tried to put it on VHS and beta, and that didn't work. And
yeah, so our next venture is laser discs, but you know those are really gonna move.
I'm sure those will sell. Yeah, like hotcakes.
Hotcakes. Well, we're gonna sell the laser disc to the blind and the vinyl to the deaf, so it'll be awesome.
There you go.
We're making the vinyl out of Braille, so it'll be awesome. It'll be a lot of fun to be had with Zach Hall from Chilled Monkey Brains. Now you have 3 albums total? Is that correct?
Yeah, 3 full lengths and an EP as well.
All right. And now this whole ska punk scene. Okay, and I know everybody really considers it more of a ska because you've got the horns and things like that. But you still get the punks in there and they're thrashing. Do some of your shows get a little out of hand? I mean, I could see, especially when you guys start really banging it out. I can see some crazy pits and stuff.
It has happened a time or two.
Yeah. Do you guys get a lot of have you ever had like a big brawl or anything because people get stupid or what?
There's no big brawls. A few fights here and there, but mostly, people at like you say, ska and punk shows are generally like they want everybody who's there to have a good time.
Right. And this, I want people to hear this because everybody's like, oh, these punk shows. Man, I have never been to I've seen a guy get knocked out for acting like a jerk. Right. I've seen that a couple of times, but for the most part, I've seen vicious pits, like even at Suicidal Tendencies. I've seen just like, I don't know. And then I just jump in and go for it. But of course, this is back in the day. But still everybody was cool to each other, and we were going crazy and it was just a mayhem, but it was fun mayhem, and everybody was cool with each other. And especially with ska punk, everybody's there just to have fun, man. I mean, you look at bands like you guys, of course, back in the day, more Real Big Fish, things like that, Goldfinger, everybody's just out there jamming, having fun with it. Toasters are a great example. I mean, they're not really ska punk. They're more ska, but they have such a huge following. And you see, like I've seen some of their videos. It's just like there is a sea of freaking people out there going nuts.
Yep.
And I love it, man, because it's, I grew up, back in the 80s when I was a kid. I remember hearing the specials. I'm like, what is this, and then English beat, things like that. The Body Snatchers. So many different of the old school two-tone bands. And I was like, man, this is, my dad was a big jazz fan. So I got that horn influence and the jazzy, and I was like, I told him, oh, you got to listen to this. You got to listen to this. He's like, whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then, and of course, I think kids from my generation, and I think Andy, I mean, you're a little younger than me, but still, we grew up with such a melting pot of music.
Right.
Yeah.
We appreciate it all so much, and then kind of in the 90s, it became, oh, you got to be hip hop, you got to be rap, you got to be ska punk, you got to be punk, you got to be metal,
right.
or grunge or whatever. It's like, no, you can just like it all, man. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yep.
Well, and that was the fun. Honestly, that was the fun part of growing up in radio, right? Working for a cluster of stations that had every available format to it,
right?
To where literally the Friday night before a show, hey, we got extra tickets to this show. Who needs them?
Yeah.
Right. Running through the office, and so we could get. So and growing up in the Bay Area too, in California, right? Everybody came there for a show.
Yeah.
Right. So like we weren't missing out. Like and everything was represented well. So and that was the real sort of benefit of Bay Area, California education, was being able to go to those shows and just seeing just those different crowds, react to those shows. And it just helped out. Again, it helped my music education too. It's just like, because I started out going to more classic rock shows, but then as I saw, the alternative scene, and then some hip hop shows, and then even the Chesney show that I mentioned when I was a little bit older, it was just like wow, like these are how these people do their concerts, and it was just, it was incredible.
Yeah. And again, well, Kenny Chesney, for God's sakes, I mean, that's just Now, do you have a lot of different background influences?
Yeah, I was talking earlier about how country was my last holdout genre, that I had never really liked any country artist. And actually, my dad is a musician as well, and he's a phenomenal singer, and he's always begged me to play music with him. So we did a project over the last couple years where we played a little bit of country. And at first I was like, oh, I'll learn it, but I won't like it. And eventually I did. I found a few. I'm a big Johnny Paycheck fan. A couple of the other older guys and gals. Loretta Lynn. I'm a big Loretta Lynn fan.
Oh yeah. No, my mom. I grew up on Willie Nelson.
Oh yeah, Willie is fantastic.
Which I was just like, oh, there we go. But yeah, and I think as much as everybody wants to deny it, we're all a little bit of country music fans, one way or another.
Yeah.
And I'm finding more nowadays that kids, it's kind of going back into that phase. Oh yeah, I kind of like this. There's a lot of people that it's becoming that kind of melting pot again, where oh yeah, like. I'll tell you, and Andy was talking about how you get free tickets and stuff like that. I, back in the day, got tickets to go see Digital Underground. It was and Tony, right? In Oakland.
Oh, yeah.
I was one of 5 white people there. And 2 of those other guys were the people from the station with me. But I'm a huge Digital Underground fan and Tony fan. I love hip hop. I'm not I can't name every band or anything like that, but I just love the music, and I love the De La Soul and Tribe Called Quest, how they got those jazz influences in them, and it's just got that groove and that you have to respect it. And everybody, oh, it's not music. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Mixing and mastering that together, that is a lot of skill.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of, you got to hear those harmonies. You got to hear those mixes. Now, do you have any of that? Like, have you ever thought of trying to maybe mix a little bit of any of that into your guys' music at all? Because I know there's some, I hate to use them as an example, but like No Doubt, they mixed a little, funk and soul into their, even kind of hip hop.
Well, we were talking about this earlier. Like pre-Tragic Kingdom, No Doubt was heavy ska.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. The oh god,
Beacon Street Collection.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's but then they really got more of a like a and I hate to say pop because it wasn't really a pop sound, but there was a
but it certainly
R&B, poppy, yep.
Right. Yeah. But no, it's
definitely poppy, but
yeah, it definitely leaned more into the pop genre than it did before.
Right.
Now, do you guys?
It's just like the Black Album with Metallica, right?
Right.
No, it's
just going at something that's a little bit more mass appeal.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, are we going to go down this road? Are we going to go down into this?
If we have to, do I just need to say the Black Album to really upset you?
Okay. No, I have okay. All right. Okay. In fact, as a professing musician, do you like Metallica?
I do. I love Metallica.
Okay. Yes. Early Metallica, later Metallica.
Which do I like better? It's the early.
Well, hold on. Qualifying question.
No. Let me define that.
Wait.
Black Album or post Black?
Yeah, pre Black Album.
Thank you.
Sure. Ride the Lightning. Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead,
Zach. I just need to ask how old you are.
I'm 36.
Okay. All right. That was my qualifying question.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
Definitely. The stuff I heard first was the Black Album and I was like, this is pretty good. And then when I later listened to the older stuff, I was like, oh, now I see what people are talking about with this band.
Yeah. Ride the Lightning. You're just like, oh my, I'll never forget the first Metallica song I ever heard was Seek and Destroy.
Oh yeah.
And it literally put goosebumps on my arm. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
We need more of this.
Yeah.
And they're like, never heard this? I'm like, I've heard the name Metallica, but because they're out of the Bay Area. So I remember seeing them on flyers and all that kind of crap. And I was just like, just think about it now. I'm thinking about hearing that song for the first time. It's like that dun 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 dun. You're just like, oh my. So no, my problem with the Black Album, and we'll see how this goes. I appreciate it. Do not get me wrong, because there's some great songs. I just think they let Bob Rock kill them during that album and afterwards, because he so overproduced it and made it so mass appealish, I guess.
Right.
I think, and that just killed it. That just killed him. And then, Saint Elsewhere or whatever it was, Saint
Anger.
Saint Anger. Oh my, probably one of the worst albums I've ever heard. Now, don't get me wrong. Produced, sounded amazing, but I was like, these songs suck.
Right.
I would so much rather hear a guy banging on a drum out in the street, on a can or something. It was crap. And they were forcing it down people's throat. They were forcing it on radio. I'm like, get over yourselves. This is not good. How could you even and I know it was, the James Hetfield and Lars, and don't even get me into Lars. I appreciate Lars as a drummer because I play drums and I love what he can do, but he also is
I had no idea that was going to be such a triggering subject.
Okay, yeah,
I had zero idea.
But
like that was.
Am I wrong? Both of you. Am I wrong in any of this?
No,
Yeah,
you're not. No,
with you.
Damn right I'm not wrong.
yeah, early Metallica is greater than later Metallica. That's for sure. Yeah.
No,
Again, nothing's
sucks.
gonna beat the riff from Seek and Destroy. Nothing's gonna beat the opening of From Whom the Bell Tolls. Like, like that. Those are songs that will just those will like live in my head soundtrack forever.
They hold up. You can still listen to that whole album,
dude.
Get lost in it.
Yeah, from beginning to end, not worth. And Justice for All, I think, was their absolute peak. That was, even though Lars had the bass lines subdued. I don't know if we all know this story but
yeah.
I would because I always was like, man, it still sounds great, which blows me away, which gives every the producer and mixer, it gives them such credit for bringing out the sound that they do. I know they beefed up, Hemmett's guitar and stuff like that, but still, that album was like just off the charts. So good, so well produced, so clean. And really, like your sound off this, I'm just calling it the Mud album. I like it.
That's fine.
Metallica's got their Black album. You got your Mud, but yours is way better. Dude, like I said, I kept listening to tracks off of it, and I was waiting for something to suck. I don't mean that in a hateful way, but I just,
I hear you.
Bands early on, dude, every band has them. There's like 2 or 3 good songs, and then there's 2 or 3 bad songs, and it's because you're experimenting, you're trying, you're working on different things. Seriously, every song I heard off that song, I was just like, this is so good.
Thanks,
and I'm just been giddy about getting you on this show. I'm just we're gonna have Zach, we're gonna have Chilled Monkey Brains. This is gonna be so awesome. Do you get any flack for the name Chilled Monkey Brains?
I wouldn't go as far as to say flack, but we get like, you guys are a lot better than I expected a band called Chill Monkey Brains to be.
There's
the backhanded compliment we'll get occasionally in regards to the name, but
So the band that I left in California before I moved up to Oregon was named the LK Project, right? Because it was an iteration of an earlier name that we had with these guys. But we played an event for St. Mary's because our guitarist worked for St. Mary's College, right? And so we were on the lawn right in front of the big old famous church of St. Mary's, and we play a 2-hour set, right? And one of the people that was watching us came up to us and said afterwards, "You guys didn't suck." We're like, thank you. Thank you very much. So we used that. We put that on our like Facebook and everything, like in quotes, every graphic, like, we don't suck.
Listen to us. We've been approved.
Yeah.
Wow. So, good Lord. What do you find? Because you're on YouTube, you're doing a lot of social media, which, obviously, again, promotion, self-promotion.
Yeah.
What do you find is most effective? Either pushing it out on the Spotify and the Pandora and so. God, I sound like a 90-year-old. Hey, you're pushing it out on the Pandora. It's a big old box of music is what that's referencing, by the way. I was actually there when Pandora was opened up.
How are Friendster and MySpace helping Chilled Monkey Brains these days?
No. I didn't even mess with them. I was like, no, I hate the internet. Now I'm like an internet whore. But I mean, what do you find is most effective for you guys? Just getting, the name Chilled Monkey Brains. I get it. Everybody's like, oh, what is that? Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, especially if you don't know the reference.
Right.
Yeah. Like, ooh, that's kind of gross. Chilled Monkey Brains. Oh.
Oh my god!
I mean,
imagine it with a spoon. It's gross. Yeah, slimy.
Yeah, you know, Instagram is good these days. People hear about stuff through Instagram for sure. If you can get the right people to share your stuff, it's super helpful. Obviously,
Right.
You know, it depends. But for the bands, it seems like Instagram is the way to go. I've been hearing good things about TikTok. I'm gonna try to. We have a TikTok. It has not had much success, but I have another a food channel. I mentioned this earlier that I do with my brothers, and we make pizza, and we've had much more success with that than as far as social media goes than I've had with the band. But I'm gonna start trying to kind of use what I've learned doing that to hopefully help get the band out there on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, well, I will say what I found on TikTok is that people making food or doing ASMR or girls doing jumping jacks or yoga in topless or half top shirts. That seems to be the biggest popular thing. I'm not sure why, but yeah. And you would think, especially on something like TikTok, that you put a little music clip out there, people would be like, but so on Instagram is basically, because I would think YouTube would really be a pull.
Yeah, it's been hard to get our YouTube stuff out there. We've got some followers, nothing big. I think we've got like 230 YouTube subscribers, something like that. We grab a couple every time we put out a video, but the thing with these platforms is you got to be putting stuff out very regularly. Right. And I can't make a music video every week, Right. I've been brainstorming how to kind of consolidate the old idea of a music video into something that can be posted on a more consistent basis.
Right.
So I'm still brainstorming, but trying to get more into that, doing the consistent posting and trying to build it that way.
Well, and I've been toying around with some things on TikTok, trying to, TikTok's one of those things where you've got to, well, any social media, you really got to be kind of regular.
Yeah.
But, which I was for a while, then my work schedule changed and now I'm like a walking zombie. One of the things I found, and I mean, I was going to start experimenting with this, but I was just going to kind of like show a clip of the show and then kind of jump in and do, the split screen thing or whatever, where you're superimposed on it. And hey, you want to see more of this? Blah, blah, blah. So maybe that's something you guys could do,
Yeah.
You like this?
That's a good idea.
Go here or whatever, which I'm not good with the green screen, really. That's
yeah. No, like back when Facebook Live was a thing, my old band from California would Facebook Live 10 minutes of our rehearsal.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
And back then it actually got decent traction.
Yeah.
So but
I guess what I hear from the kiddies is that Facebook is for old people. Insta is the way to go, and TikTok. Oh my god, or Snapchat, which I just don't get Snapchat. Never have, never will. It's
Snapchat wants you to post like 20 times a day. That's their idea.
Right.
You got it. You can't. It can't be anything well thought out. It just has to be.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm doing.
So basically, you're saying this show. Right? This show would so succeed on Snapchat. All right. So now, Zach, where are you guys going to be playing next? What's your next big show coming up?
Yeah, the Ponce Inlet thing is the next big one, March 29th. Spring Break Reggae Fest. We're opening for Ballyhoo, and then the Toasters show would be the next one after that.
Okay, copy that. Oh my gosh, I'm stuck at work. For God's sake. I work in transportation, so we're always on the radio going, yeah, copy that. Copy. Roger, yep. And then we say a lot of expletives and yell at each other. But it's all in good fun, and we love each other, and yeah, so unlike here, we're just We're usually at this point we're both comatose and
Right.
Yes,
this is our afternoon nap time. What are you talking about? Come on.
it's horrible when you get old and start falling apart. So let's all right. Listen, man, we need to have you back on. Maybe with some more of the members, we can get a few of the other guys to join in.
That'd be cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would love to get you guys because we're okay. I know.
God, man.
We got to get the broomstick up in the ceiling and clear out the whatever that guy is. That means we're really getting towards the end of the show. But yeah, we want to bring you guys back on. Maybe you could do a little live jam acoustic thing or something. I don't know. Let's figure something out, dude, because I really think you guys got it. And I think you guys are really, I just appreciate what you do.
Thanks,
and
man.
I'd love to keep pushing you out there as best we can.
I would love to come back on. Let's do it.
So, and now you said, okay, again, I've had it down here scrolling on the screen, but for those listening on the audio, like the guy up in the roof, go to your website, chilledmonkeybrains.org, right? And it's just like it sounds, chilledmonkeybrains.org, which is half of an orange. And you can find all your songs, merch,
everything's there. Music videos.
Music videos. What kind of merch you got?
We got so we got vinyl and CDs. Obviously, we got T-shirts like every month. But something unique we have actually. Me and Andy were talking about this earlier. We're a bunch of nerds, and we always play Magic the Gathering when we get together. And we actually have play mats. Like, let me see. I got one right here.
That's incredible.
Oh my god, dude! Did you just see what you did to Andy?
Dude, that's fantastic.
Andy is half erect at this point.
Let's see. They should be right here. Yeah.
And I did put up the Yes We're Nerds.
All right. Yeah.
Placard there. So.
That's
we basically printed these out just because we all wanted to have them. And it turns out, like anything, it's a lot cheaper if you make a bunch of them. So full size.
Oh, that's incredible.
Album artwork, play mats.
Oh my
that's
God.
Fantastic.
All right, now how much does something like that run?
These are $30.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
and
that's incredible.
Okay, so all right, so again, people on the audio version of this, Zach Hall, Chilled Monkey Brains, Back to the Mud, new album out, all their other albums. Go to their site, chilledmonkeybrains.com or .org. Oh, right. Settle down. But okay, Zach, so this guy loves it. This is all he lives for. He wants us to play what's called Random Questions of Insanity. It is a series of questions that have no purpose, no meaning, except to totally expose your psyche and show your weak points. So we want to find out how mentally unstable you are. Are you willing to play? Good.
I am.
Start. And I think both questions will apply to him.
I think so too.
Yeah. Let's see. Where's our... Okay, there we go. Random questions of insanity. There's the thing. Let's start with we have two base questions that we start with. First one is, what is the best James Bond film?
I definitely have not seen anything like all of them.
Okay.
What was the second most recent one? I like that one pretty good. Daniel Craig.
So there was No Time to Die was the last one. That was Skyfall?
Skyfall. I like Skyfall. Skyfall was solid.
Or
I loved GoldenEye as a kid because N64 generation.
No, the video game, of course. Enhanced
video
GoldenEye.
game you get addicted to, bro. That's
yes.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go with that, and then we'll just say Daniel Craig or Pierce Brosnan is your more favorite James Bond, since you probably didn't see much with James.
Yeah, Brosnan is when I think of Bond, I think of Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, Tim Melia joining in. Tim, hello. Hey, Tim. Thank you for joining us, sir. All right, now we've got okay. Here's our second favorite question, which again will delve into your inner psyche. What is your favorite sandwich, and what all is on it? Like you can make any sandwich in the world. Boom.
What am I making? I've been on a huge. Well, okay. The answer is Reuben for sure.
Oh my.
Okay. Excellent.
And usually a turkey Reuben actually.
Okay.
Over corned beef. I like corned beef too. But if turkey Reuben is on the menu, I will probably go for the turkey Reuben.
What? No.
Nice.
No. No.
Also a grouper Reuben. Big fan of that as well. I'm in Florida, so we got killer fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually have fresh fish. That was the one thing about living in California, especially when I was on the Central Coast. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just every day fresh fish being right there. Oh.
Yep.
Oh. But now, like, I'm in the Midwest, and it's like, everything's been frozen for a few days. Like, this isn't flown in fresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
It came out of your freezer, probably in the back. And unless it's deep fried, I really don't want it. And, yeah. All right, Andy, let's go into one of yours.
Yeah. What was your favorite toy growing up?
My favorite toy. I had I try to like let my brain talk on these. The first thing that came to mind was a Donatello Ninja Turtle.
Nice. Excellent. That's awesome.
Yeah. Nice. Let's see. Ice cream, cake, or pie?
Ice cream.
No hesitation. Like it.
Becoming best friends, Zach. All right, Andy?
No question.
All right. You're all alone in the car. Okay. That one song comes on. You just can't help but sing it. What song is that?
That one. There's hundreds. I'm gonna go with Tartuffe from the newest Propagandy album.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh,
that one in particular, like even if I'm sick, I will.
Yeah.
I'll sing along.
Now,
Excellent.
okay, since your pops is in the country and stuff like that, what's one of the country songs like you grew up here and it's like once you hear a few notes of it, it's just stuck in your head?
Probably Toby Keith, Should Have Been a Cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Let's see. Where's we? Just because I gotta ask it. What's your best music genre?
It's punk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think
Right.
so. Although I probably listen to more metal, but punk is what comes to mind.
Right. Now, old school punk or a little bit of both, or
A little bit of both. I mean, I really love the Germs. I love NoFX, as you said. I definitely can probably, if I had like a write the lyrics out test for every NoFX song, I'd get at least like a 65%. Every song ever, which is hundreds of songs.
yeah.
Huge
Like
NoFX song.
Social Distortion, Dead Kennedys.
Yeah, I love Dead Kennedys.
Yeah.
There's not many punk bands that I don't like, at least casually.
The Clash,
yeah.
obviously.
The Clash, of course. Yep.
What about the Police?
I like the Police. I'm for the Police. If it's on, I won't change the channel.
Zach?
I don't have them in my library.
That's the wrong answer, Zach. Now you're
The
going to
answer is
go out
you must love the Police.
and,
Okay.
Yeah. That's band numero uno for Christian.
Okay.
they're like, but yeah, we're not going to go there. We're going to start the whole Black Album style thing.
Right.
We don't need that.
Amazing musicianship, obviously.
Duh. Best drummer in the world. All right. So anyway, Andrew.
Since you have your pizza side channel, it's your night to order pizza for the group. What are we getting?
Oh, this will be good.
We actually just made my brother is like the face of the channel, but I'm the editor, and I'm occasionally on it, and we just made my favorite pizza, which is a pepperoni and pineapple.
Oh, nice.
Ooh,
Okay.
all right. Yeah. Now, have you ever tried, do not poo-poo this, pastrami, jalapeno, and mushroom?
That's an interesting combo. Not
And
specifically.
olives.
It sounds good.
Dude.
If we've made,
Oh.
I think we're on pizza like number 180, something like that. So
Yeah,
we've made like all kinds of crazy shit on our channel. But we haven't tried that. So pastrami, mushroom, olive. What was the other thing?
Jalapeno.
Jalapeno.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down.
Well, I used to manage a Mountain Mike's out in Los Gatos, California, and like I was amazed. I'm like, "What is this?" And they're like, "Oh, it's pastrami." I'm like, "What?"
Wow.
And I'm like, "There's no way that's it." And so I made myself a little mini pizza with just pastrami on it. I was like, "Okay, this isn't bad."
Yeah.
And then I started experimenting. I was like, "Okay, yeah." Oh, and I put some bacon on it. Okay. Let's see. Is it my turn? Yeah, it's my turn.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, well, since you asked the pizza question, Zach, you have a choice to save the world.
Okay.
Who do you choose? Iron Man or Batman?
The whole world. It's got to be the billionaire. Like, oh, they're both billionaires. Shit.
I was like, which one?
Yeah, man. I don't love Iron Man's ego, I gotta say. That bums me out a little bit. But I also don't love Batman's brooding sort of, you know. I think in a pinch, I would probably have to go Iron Man. He's just got the stronger equipment.
Yes, that is the correct answer. And hello, Milton Fishman Super Stud.
Oh, that's my cover band. That's
Nice.
Hey, dude, hey, Raleigh.
Now, your cover band, what? Okay, I guess I missed this part. What?
It's just like a side project. We kind of, when we have the time, record different covers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Whatever. Or...
Anything, basically. We did. My favorite thing we've done is "Nuttin' for Christmas," the old Christmas song.
Yes, that's great.
Super fast and like with horns.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh.
We did the Doug theme. What else have we done? Yeah,
That's great.
anything and everything.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome, man. All right. All right, let's get a couple more. And Andy, go ahead.
Your food is bad at a restaurant. Do you say anything?
Not usually.
Okay.
If it's like a $60 steak and I ask for medium rare and it's medium well or it's like blue, I might say, could you throw this back on?
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough.
It has to go a long way. But
Right.
It gotta be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like the guy who's here's your
Right.
that just wipes off. Here you go. All right, let's see. All right. You can be anyone for 5 minutes. Who do you choose? 5 minutes.
All through all of history?
Whatever. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Man. I gotta go anyone ever.
Richard Nixon.
Probably like height of popularity, Freddie Mercury on stage.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Respectable. But on stage, not like in the back.
Not like at home. But he was apparently like a very not particularly social person, but on that stage, he was everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Andy, one more.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Snobby musicians, gatekeeping in music.
Yes. Well, in fact, that gets a DJ. That gets
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. What's a good closeout here? Well, let's go with what?
No,
Raleigh's comment.
Yeah, don't want to hang out with Mick while being Freddy, huh?
Yeah. There you go. You get that one.
Good job.
All right. Let's just do this. You have 30 seconds to tell the world something. Go.
Oh, okay. World. Be nice to each other.
Buy my album.
Everybody's going through some shit. Be kind, particularly when it's hard and you don't want to, because that's what being kind is. It's easy when things are going your way to be nice. It's hard when something terrible happens to you. So
yes. Yeah.
Maybe not nice, but be kind.
Well played. Well played, Zach. All right, Zach Hall, man, I cannot thank you enough for taking time to hang out with us, dude.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you guys. It was fun.
I apologize for my tardiness. But dude, so appreciate it. I love the sound. Love the album. Back to the Mud is the name of the album. Find it on Spotify. Chilled Monkey Brains. You're all over all of your sites. Go to chilledmonkeybrains.org and you can find more and get shirts, playmats for Magic the Gathering or something, and or just as a food mat. You can put it on your
giant mouse pad.
Oh, there. Yeah. Now you just need the giant mouse to move around. But Zach, really, truly appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Please come back and hang out with us again.
Thank you guys for having me. We'll run it back.
Gentlemen, Zach Hall, Chill Monkey Brains. Check him out. We'll see you later, brother. Thank you so much, my man. Yeah, had to use the can't turn you loose to send him off, but
but all good.
That's due to my poor planning and situation. I'm a horrible person, and I fully admit it.
Well, you had an emergency you had to handle, and you're coming into a non-set-up area. It's all good, man.
Well, it was partially set up. I had
but you got to run out for an hour. Then you come back and you're not mentally prepared.
Am I ever really mentally prepared?
Well, I was trying to be nice, Christian.
Really?
I'm not going to throw you under the bus at the end of the show. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm a jerk. I'm not a jerk,
No, you're a bud. You're a true friend. And well, I can't get my music to play. That's awesome. All right. Well, there we go. Who needs music? Screw it.
You want me to hold on? Go ahead.
Well, kids, all right. So listen, we've come to the end of the show. We thank you all so much for being a part of this. We are so happy to be on Fridays. We hope this works well for you.
See, the benefit of this is that this never stops.
Those of you who are watching, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Next week, what are we doing?
We don't have a next week. Nothing next week. Remember?
Oh yeah, it's just us.
Yeah, it's just us. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 hours of this.
Let's listen. I've actually got some things planned. I haven't even talked to Andy about it yet, but I got some things planned that we're going to be doing. It's going to involve some audience participation, so please make sure you are a part of the show for next week. Yeah. We didn't even have a little placard. Why am I even looking for a little flyer for it? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know. It's what I do. It's and I'm ineffective. So I guess at this point we should just there it is. The grandiose departure of our show. So again, want to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you listen when you can on Spreaker or iHeart Radio or all the other podcast sites, but preferably Spreaker because we get 1/30% for every time you listen to us. And by the way, we are 60 cents away from Happy Meal.
Yes,
I know, dude. I'm so excited. Kind of. not really. But listen, we want to thank everybody who's been involved. Again, Zach and Chilled Monkey Brains. Make sure you check them out. Mrs. A's famous Salsa Buena, who is becoming a huge sensation. Her distribution is spreading all over the U.S. So if you can't find it, ask for it wherever you're at, please. And then for me and for Andy, that guy right over here, there. I was pointing too close. I was pointing in your ear. Please, okay. Thank you all so much for being a part of the show. We will see you next week. And like I said, we got some fun surprises planned. So make sure to be a part of this. And we will see you all next week. Peace out, kids. Love you.